Hello, Captains. This is the Doctor, and welcome to the 8th year anniversary of Star Trek Online. That's right, 8 years of Star Trek Online. And I remember my very first time I loaded this game up in beta. I was in beta in this game, and I played through, created a character, played missions, leveled a character. The game went live, it went gold, it went out to everyone. What an experience getting to do that for the first time. The game has changed a lot in 8 years, and let me say a lot. It has gone through many changes in several different areas. ESD, or Earth Space Dock itself, has gone through at least 2 different iterations. It's been through a few there. Many things have changed in this game since it's been introduced, and it has actually been a fun ride, a very fun ride. There were many people who did not think this game would last past the first couple of years. There were many people that got really scared, including me, when the game was being sold by Atari, who were the original publishers of this game, and oh no, who was going to buy it, if anybody? And it ended up Perfect World took over, and that really changed things. Then we went free to play. Oh my gosh, that really changed everything. Really, the big move to free to play really made the game, well, quite different than it was, because previous to that it was a paying only game. But it has allowed the game to get into more players' hands. By being free to play, you can play the game at no cost and enjoy it and try it out for yourself with no real negatives at all, except you probably will lose a lot of your personal time playing this game. That is for sure. Over the course of those 8 years, and we're bobbing around here because we got an Omega particle, let me just move for a bit. Over the course of those 8 years, I have done many playthroughs in this game on every faction in this game. I am currently doing a new playthrough as of 2018 on the Romulan faction as a Riemann character for the very first time. And that has been just an absolutely fun playthrough. If you haven't started watching that yet, get in now. I'm only about 8 videos into that one, but it is fun, and am going to continue to play that all the way to the end. And it's been a lot of fun, and I love the Romulan ships. And the Romulan storyline is very strong in this game. I have other videos, of course, very well known for Starship reviews in this game. If you have never seen any of my Starship reviews, I literally have hundreds of videos just reviewing starships. Before Delta Rising came out, I had pre-Delta Rising ships, because before then, Tier 5 was the highest ship level. I have a lot of ship reviews that lead up to that, and then when Tier 6 became a thing, and they upped the cap on the skill level and everything, I have newer Tier 6 Starship reviews, and I will continue to have more in the future. Every time I get a new ship, I fly it, I play it. My goal is to have every ship in this game. Yeah, that's a high goal, and an expensive goal. But it is one that one day, I swear, I will have every ship in this game, and I will review every ship in this game. I really enjoy building ships out, making new ship builds, and flying them. This is my main character, the Doctor. He is a science character. He is actually the first character I ever created in the game, and he has gone through, several regenerations. What you see here is not his first form I started out with. I used the current Doctor at the time when I started this game. But I have been using this character for 8 years. This was my very first character, so he deserves to be here for the 8th anniversary. and celebrate. And so that's what we're going to do today. So today is all about celebrating the 8th anniversary. This is an intro video to that. We're going to go look at what is new with the 8th anniversary. What can we do with the 8th anniversary? What things can we go play? How do we get our vouchers to get the free ship? Because obviously you're here to get the free ship. Everybody wants the free ship. And we're just going to take a look at what other things are new, like the Party Popper and something called Reengineering, which I was playing around with earlier. Quite fun and very easy to get salvage. Didn't realize how easy it was going to be to get salvage, but it really is. So the very first thing to do when you log into Star Trek Online for the 8th year anniversary is to click the little question mark, because it will be flashing just like this. Click on what's new in 8th anniversary, and you will see all the things listed. There really aren't a huge amount of things here, but there are some things you can do to have fun in the 8th anniversary. Number one is you've got a new featured episode to play called Scylla and Charybdis. This is a brand new featured episode. Every anniversary they do this. This is going to complete the Zenkethi storyline that we're currently in. We've been in it for a while, all of 2017, and this mission here is going to complete that. I've heard it's pretty big, pretty long, a lot of space action, so that should be very fun. Next, you can check out the... also, that's where you're going to get your first 400 vouchers that go toward the free ship. Next, you can check out the new Reengineering stuff, and I'll just read that here if you haven't heard about that yet. This new system, connected to crafting, will allow captains to change the mods on their gear. Much of the gear found in loot drops can be turned into a new commodity called Salvage, which can then be used to re-engineer mods on individual pieces of gear to give them stats that better fit the playstyle of the captain. In addition to this, we have made special new epic mods. For more details, please visit the following blog, and there's a link that you can click there. It will go to an online page in your browser. You can check that out. You can go to StarTrekOnline.com and also find that information. Star Trek Online's 8th anniversary is upon us. Partake in Q's Omega Molecule Stabilization game and Party Patrol for some fun and earn new prizes. So that's what we're going to do today. The Omega Molecule Stabilization is a daily that you do once every day. It's got like a 20-hour cooldown, and that gets you your vouchers for the day. The vouchers that go toward the 1,000 vouchers you need for the Bajoran ship we are getting this year. And then also you can go down to Earth at the Academy and do something called Party Patrol. It will just get you some extra prizes and things like that. Very small, not really worth that much, but just something fun to do for the anniversary. They have it every year, and for the first couple of years it was fun, but now it's kind of repetitive and really doesn't provide a lot of benefit or reward. You can do it once just to do it, and after that you probably won't want to do it again. But what you will want to do is the Omega Molecule Stabilization game once a day to get those vouchers, and then of course to play the new featured episode, and then every day you get your vouchers toward the free ship, and then you can play around with Reengineering. That's the basis there of what you're probably going to end up doing mostly with the 8th anniversary of Star Trek Online. And that's typical. That's very typical. These every year, that's pretty much what's available. Also, you can get a new Party Popper and play around with that just for fun. And apparently, supposedly, there's some new emotes as well. It didn't list them there, but there's some new emotes that you can get somehow and have emotes. I don't really use emotes a lot in the game, but for those that role play or do other functions in the game, emotes could be important to you, and there's some new one. There's more than one. There's several new emotes. So we're going to go through this and do each thing here. I am going to do a Let's Play video of Scylla and Charybdis separately. So I have not played that yet, and I will play it. I will do a Let's Play video, and I will probably do it on this character here, my main character. And we'll do it and just have fun with it and see what that's all about. But that's going to be a second video to this, and that should be up this weekend. What we're going to do first is what you most likely will want to do first with this whole 8th anniversary, and that is the Omega Particle Stabilization. So here we are on Earth Space Dock, naturally. We've got Q and his dancing minions. This is where you will want to come to get all of the information for doing the Omega Molecule Stabilization Daily and Party Patrol. You can ask him, what are you doing here? And you can talk to him. You can ask the age-old question, where's Sulu? If you do not get that, then you were not here during the first couple of years of this game. If you get where's Sulu, raise your hand in the comments. Say something in the comments down below in this video if you understand where's Sulu. I was here during that time. It was huge. It's a meme, so I'll give you a hint. It's a meme. But just put a note down in the comments. Just say, where's Sulu? If you understand that meme. It is hilarious. It was funny. It was a thing back then at the beginning of the game. And that'll give me an idea whom of my viewers were old school Star Trek Online players. That should be a lot of fun. You can also command Q to leave immediately, and you will get a reward for that. But I'm going to let you figure that out when you go do that in game. I'm not going to do that. No siree. You can ask him what are Omega remnants good for, and so I heard something about a starship, but quite plainly, the Omega remnants you can put together for R&D materials. I don't do R&D. However, if you do R&D, then you actually can do the Omega Molecule Stabilization more than once per day. You only get the vouchers, though, once per day, every 20 hours. Alright, so the thing we're going to do is the Omega Molecule Stabilization Daily. And we're going to get 40 8th anniversary prize vouchers. So that's going to go toward our new free ship. Remember, you need 1,000 vouchers total. So every day you do this, you get 40. And then if you play the new featured episode, Scylla and Charybdis, you get 400. So you get a real big boost playing the featured episode. So it's very much worth it. Now, you need to be level 10 to play the new featured episode, at least level 10. But it's worth it because you get 400 vouchers and then 40 of these, and that'll lessen your time to get the ship. We're also going to get an option to get the 8th anniversary party horn. Definitely want that. See what that does this year. 8th anniversary emote box. So here's the emotes I was talking about. We're going to get dance, unusual, dance, smooth, slow clap, wink, cross arms, flex, reading, talking, and burp. So those are the emotes. And then if we replay this, we'll get an 8th anniversary party box option as well. Because you can replay the Omega Molecule every day. You need to anyway to get the voucher. So you can choose a party box every day as a reward after you get all the other rewards. So let's accept this, because we're going to do that first. That's the most important thing. Actually, the most important thing before you do anything is to go to this menu here that you're all familiar with. Go to Reputation, go to Events, go to Select Active, and then you should see Collect 2018 Anniversary Event Reward. And this is going to go toward the new ship. It says exchange 1,000 8th Anniversary prize vouchers for your very own Tier 6 Denorius class Bajoran escort. If you don't know anything about that ship, check out, and I will link the right video in the top right corner, one of my game news videos, and it talks about, actually both of them talk about, no, one of them talks about this ship here, because this is the one you're going to get. Completing this project will also reward you with the Bajoran Defense Hyper Injection Warp Core and Singularity Core for Romulans, which is part of a special equipment set earned by completing the featured episode Scylla and Charybdis. Earn a set of 400 8th anniversary prize vouchers the first time you complete the mission. You can also earn an additional 40 each day during the anniversary event by participating in Omega Molecule Stabilization. So the rewards when you get all 1,000 is you will unlock the event Starship, which is right here, the Bajoran Interceptor Tier 6. You'll also get the Bajoran Warp Core, which is part of the Bajoran Defense set. It's a 4-piece set, and the other pieces will be in Scylla and Charybdis, but the Warp Core will only be with this ship. So if you don't get this ship, you will be missing a piece of the complete set. So we'll go ahead and add that here. And then now all we need is 1,000 prize vouchers. Again, you get 400 by playing Scylla and Charybdis, and then 40 each day with the Omega Molecule Stabilization. Okie dokie. So what do we do with the Omega Molecule Stabilization? Let's make it primary first, because I've got other things on here. It says stabilize Omega particles that Q has created across the galaxy. So we need to stabilize an Omega particle on Andoria ground, Starfleet Academy ground, and Starbase 39 ground. So all of mine are ground today. Now these are random. Every time you apply Omega Molecule Stabilization daily, it will change. Some may be space, some may be ground, but you will have to travel to go do them, which is good because it gets you out of ESD and in other places of the game you may never have been before. So that's cool. So first, since this is closest, we're going to go down to Starfleet Academy. And we'll do this one down here. All you have to do is just find an Omega particle. That's it. You don't have to do a specific one. You just have to find any one. Any one you find anywhere will work. There's one glowing over there. Let's do that one. Get my frost boots going and run. Run into plants, get stuck on trees and bushes, jump over bushes. Oh, it went away. That person did it. Okay, I gotta find another one. Looking for a glow. Any glow will do. Not that glow. There's one. Let's go over here and do this one. So what you do is you just click on it, and you can use the keypad. You can use the mouse or the keys, and you just go up and down and collect as many as you can. Now, if you're doing this for R&D material, then it matters how many you get. If you're just doing this to do the daily, you don't even really need to gather the particles. You could just leave your mouse on one of these rails and let it go until it finishes. But if you're trying to get a lot of particles for R&D material, then you'll want to get as many as you can. Me, I'm not really worried about R&D particle materials, so I just want to complete it. That's my goal. So I am pretty poor at this, but it's okay, doesn't matter. There you go. Collect rewards. I got one done. Now we've got 2 left. So let's go complete them. Beam up. This time we're going to go to the Sol system because actually we need to go out all the way out to sector space, excuse me. Because we've got planets to go to for the next 2. We're a star base for one, a planet for another. So you can see this goes real quick. Once you get to the place where you need to get to, it doesn't take but a minute, to do these. It goes real fast. So it's not like you're going to be spending a lot of time every day doing this, which is good. I like that. Let's go to Andoria first. I'm flying right now because I will be doing a review of this ship in the future, by the way. I am flying an advanced research vessel, Tier 6. Basically a Tier 6 nebula. And I like it quite a bit for a science ship. This is, of course, a Z-Store ship. And I will be doing a review of it in the future. But I do like it as a science ship. I'll probably use it in the featured episode when I play it, because I am going to play that. Now this stabilized Omega particles, they have them in space, but I don't need space. For me, I gotta go to ground to do mine. Now I just gotta find one. You can also use your scanner to help find one. If you have frost boots, they really help on the ground. There's one right there. There are different qualities of them. See, this one's blue. I didn't do too poorly on this one. Now I'm doing poorly. $9.20 on that one. That's not bad. But see, you get traces and all, and you can make R&D materials and stuff out of that, but I'm not concerned about that. I just want to get it done to get my vouchers. Now we'll warp out of here. Did a simultaneous warp there. That was interesting. We both warped out at the exact same time. Now, how often does that happen? Let's go to Sierra System. Starbase 39. Yay! Happy 8th anniversary! I almost said happy 4th of July. Totally different thing, by the way. 4th of July and 8th anniversary. Enter Sierra System. Okay, and we need to go to the ground on this one. And now we find one actually, and here's one right here. That's why everybody's all grouped up. So that was easy. Didn't have to go anywhere. Missed that one. There we go. Almost done. 720 on that one. And we're done. Return to queue. Now, you don't actually have to return to queue. That's the beauty of this. You can just double click this, do Hail Starfleet, and do it right from here. So you don't have to actually go back to queue, which is nice. We're going to get 40 prize vouchers. Now, we can choose, do we want dilithium, do we want the party horn, do we want the emote box, or the party box? Now, once you get the party horn and the emote box, those will disappear, and then you'll just have the party box and dilithium. So let's take the horn first, and I will replay this to do the emote box. But let's do the party horn. And let's practice with this party horn. I'm curious to see what it does. We can find out what the this year's party horn does. So now you will see if in my inventory I have 40 8th anniversary prize vouchers. So I just keep them there. I'll move them to the bottom. I just keep them collecting every day. That's all I have to do now. Let's go ahead and remove my boots and let's see what the party horn does this year. Add some festive cheer to your vicinity in one of many lighthearted ways. Well, let's see what these lighthearted ways are. Okay, so we've got big balloons. They've done that before with starship-sized balloons. It looks like those are Lucari balloons. Lucari ships. You got the oval one and then the triangle one. See what else we get. Ooh, Okay. We can grow a garden with sounds. Check that out. It has sound. It has sound effects like crickets and nighttime sounds. What else do we have? More balloons. It says 8 on it, by the way. Again with the garden. I guess that's the only 2 effects this thing has. Balloons and the garden. I guess they're going with the Lucari theme here, which is proto-matter, and the Lucari use proto-matter to grow greenery, basically. Vegetation and greenery. Kind of like the Genesis device. Very much like a working Genesis. On a smaller scale. A smaller scale Genesis device. So that's what it is. That's what the party horn does this year. So those are the effects. Let's spray it right at my camera screen. There we go. So that's what it's doing today, folks. That's what we've got. I do want to replay the Omega Molecule Stabilization so I can get the emotes. I want to try out the new emotes. Let's go back to Soul. And next we'll do Party Patrol. And then when my cooldown is done on Omega Molecule, we'll do that again so I can get the emotes. I won't get more vouchers today, but I can get the emotes reward. Or should be able to, at least. Let's add some cheer to the transporter pad. There we go. He'll love that. Oh, I know who needs cheer. Q. Q needs some cheer. Didn't quite do it close enough. We'll do it. There we go. Yes, that's what Q needs. I like that outfit. It's... Come back here. I'm back here. Stop. Stop! You! Fine, don't stop. Okay, so we can't do it again for 20 hours period, so it doesn't matter that I want to do it sooner to get the emotes. I can't do it for another 20 hours. Oh well. May not have the emotes in this video. May have to wait for another video for that, or at all. Maybe in the when I do my playable mission, the Scylla and Charybdis, maybe then I will be able to do it. Let's do Party Patrol. And so the rewards on this are very small. You get to choose one of the following: dilithium, fleet marks, omega marks, basically every mark. And it sounds useful because of these marks, right? And fleet marks. But what you'll find is the actual amount you get for doing Party Patrol is so tiny. So tiny that it's really not even worth doing it. And that's why I said earlier that it's probably not useful and probably not something you'll end up doing a lot. And you'll see, I'll show you. I don't know if I have any bonuses. Research school. I do have bonus reputation marks going on, so we're going to see an inflated amount when I do it. But even with an inflated amount, it's not a lot. So basically, you find a queue and do a thing. Probably a bad area right here to do it in. He's not even working, so forget it. Okay, now you just have to watch and see where the Q goes. And then you just pick the one in the end. Right now he's in red. I think he's still in red. Now he's in blue. Now he's in green. Now he's back in blue. Now he's in green. I think he went to blue. I think he's in the blue. No, he stayed. Wait a minute. Okay. I know a better way to do that. Watch this. And this time, we won't even have to watch where he goes. Because I know a better and different way to do it. And this tree is in my way. I know a little trick. Watch my trick, everyone. Here's the way to really do this. If you're not watching where he's going and you don't really know where he is, I know a trick. Hopefully it'll work. Hit B, go into shooter mode. And you should be able to tell where he's at in shooter mode, right? Am I not doing that right? There we go. You have to get... Yeah, my HUD is in the way, but if you look behind my HUD, see the little cogwheel? Means he's in the blue one. And that worked. That's how you do that. It's a little trick to find out where he's at. I'm surprised they haven't caught on to that. Because basically when you're in shooter mode, what happens is wherever he's at, it shows a little cog on your aiming reticle. So you don't actually have to watch him. And you'll get it right every time. So if I go into shooter mode and then look at each one, right there it's showing up green. It's lighting up the cogwheel right behind the HUD. My HUD's in the way. If I move my HUD over, take me out of shooter mode, rearrange HUD, move that out of the way real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Go into B. There, he's in green. And it reset because I waited too long, but he was in green. So it would have worked. Let me do it again. I was busy trying to show y'all. So the party patrol is kind of annoying. You have to wait. You have to find each one. You have to do it 5 times. And then the reward benefit ratio to doing this thing just really isn't worth it. In my opinion. Others may disagree with me. That's fine. But in my opinion, it's just not worth doing it. I get more reputation marks just go by playing, you know, the reputation queues. Alright, so where is he? Hit B. And he's in red. There you go. And it'll work every time. You'll never miss it. It's so slow. Yeah, this party patrol is a little boring. I wish they'd amp it up somehow, but I don't know how they could do it. It is just kind of boring. Okay, I didn't see where he goes. Let's do this. He's in blue. There you go. That's all you got to do. Because I have a reputation bonus on, I'm going to get a bonus with my reputation marks when I finish this. But normally it would be just a little bit less than what I'm going to get. Come on. And the other annoying thing about on the Academy here is all the NPCs walk through all the boxes. So sometimes it's hard to see where he goes just because they walk through all the boxes. So he's in red. One more. This one you have to chase him. Not really that difficult. There we go, I'm done. So, Party Patrol. Double click. It's not letting me turn it in here. I guess for this one, we will go back to queue. Okay, turn this in, talk to Q. And as you see, the reward is that. 240 dilithium, not much. Even worse, 5 fleet marks, 5 Omega marks, 5 Romulan marks, 5 marks. That is nothing. Absolutely positively nothing. You are better off to just bring up the queue system here and click on the marks you need, like Omega marks. Go play Infected the Conduit over and over again. You know, go to Lucari, get your Lucari marks, go play Janur Gauntlet. Great, that one's fun, and get a ton of marks that way. Much better to do that than to use the Party Patrol to get marks, because you ain't getting squat. So even with my mark bonus, I have 5 Omega marks, for example, turns into 6 Omega marks. Woo, 6 Omega marks. Making a big impact there. Not. And look at the cooldown on Party Patrol. 20 hours. 20 hours for 5 marks. Pointless. I mean, pointless. Let's say that this, you do it for 20 days. What is that, 20 times 5? That is still useless. It's just not worth the time. The reward versus time ratio for Party Patrol is in the gutter. And it's been this way for 8 years. Well, however many years Party Patrol's been around. I don't know if it was in the first year. But it's been around for a while. And it's always been this way. It's terrible. I wish that they would they need a raise. Or first of all, it needs to be like 25 marks. That makes a little more sense. 25 marks every 20 hours. Maybe 50 marks every 20 hours. That makes more sense. But 5? Give me a break. It's not worth the time. So that's why I'm a little down on Party Patrol. It's always been useless. Now the Omega Molecule Stabilization, it's useful because every 20 hours you get those 40 vouchers to go toward the free ship. That's how you have to get the ship. So that one you have to do to get the ship. Party Patrol, pfft. But the other one, sure. Alright, now again, I cannot do Omega Molecule Stabilization again to go do the emotes or get the new emotes. So I cannot show you the emotes today. I was hoping to do that. Unfortunately, as you can see here, I cannot. So maybe in a future video, once I get them, I will show them off to you. But for right now, I cannot do that. So moving on. Let's get to some fun stuff. And I don't know why I just equipped weapons on myself. That's not what I wanted. The fun stuff being Reengineering. So what is Reengineering? Well, actually, this is really cool. And I was playing with this earlier. Reengineering is taking something like, let's go to my ship. Taking, for example, here's a Piezo Polaron dual beam bank, Mark 14 with crit D times 2, crit H, and damage. Now those aren't the worst modifiers in the world, but it's kind of a conglomeration of several different ones. I might want different modifiers on this weapon. Maybe that's not what I really want. Maybe I really want, and what I probably really would want, would be crit D times 3 or crit D times 4. Or maybe crit D times 2, damage times 2. Or maybe, you know what I mean? Take out crit H altogether. And, or maybe I want all crit chance. Or maybe I want all damage. Maybe I want damage times 4, damage times 3, and crit D. You know, maybe I want a different modifiers. And if you don't know what a modifier is, it's the things that are in the brackets after the name and mark number of the device. So in this device, the name of it is Piezo Polaron Dual Beam Bank. The mark level is MK14, Mark 14. The modifiers are the things that are in the brackets. Crit D, CRTD, critical damage. Crit H, critical chance, and damage, DMG. This one has a critical damage of times 2. So I've got a plus 40% critical or critical severity. Same thing. Critical severity, critical damage, same thing. Critical chance on this one is plus 2%. I just have 1. It would be plus 4% if I had times 2. And then I just have 1 damage. I could have more damage. I could have on a very rare item like this, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 modifiers. And you see how I'm counting that? Crit D times 2, that's 2. Crit H is 3, and damage is 4. I've got 4 modifiers on this thing. If I go to higher levels, like Epic, I can gain an extra one, which is usually a combination, like accuracy / damage. Now, what you can do now that you couldn't do before is I can take this device, I can right-click it, I can do Reengineer Item, and I can start customizing my modifiers that I want. Now, the unfortunate part about this modifier customization is that it is a bit random, and I'm not quite sure how you unrandomize it. Because, okay, let's say I don't like this crit H. I can unlock it. Okay, boom. Now, here's what happens. First, in order to do anything, I need 800 dilithium. I got plenty of dilithium, 181,000 dilithium, fine on dilithium, but what I don't have is salvage. This is a new currency that you need in order to remodify or re-engineer items like this. So I need 400 salvage, and I have no salvage. Once I get salvage, then I'll be able to hit this button. It's grayed out right now because I don't have salvage. Once I have salvage, I can click this little button called randomize, and it will randomize the modifier I've unlocked. It will change that crit H to a damage, or a crit D, or another crit. I guess it can't do another crit H, but it could do a damage or a crit D or an accuracy. And it's random what it will land on. It's like gambling. You hit it, it's like a slot machine. Do 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 do. Bang! He'll hit something. If it hits crit D, I could have crit D times 3. I would have 3 crit Ds and a damage. That would be perfect. That would be great. I would love that. Now I could also unlock this one. Now I've got 2 that will randomize. And if both of these landed on crit D, I could have crit D times 4. But again, it's a random occurrence. It randomizes it, so you're not always guaranteed it's going to land on the modifier you want. That means you have to keep doing it until you get the combination of modifiers you want, and that means spending more dilithium and more salvage. Now, if you have a ton of dilithium and a ton of salvage, it's not a problem. Keep hitting randomize until you get the modifiers you want. If you have limited resources, though, like right now I've got no salvage, then you're going to be limited in how many times you can randomize it and keep trying it. So it's really going to depend a lot on your resources, but the more resources you have to do it, you could land and keep doing it until you get the perfect modifiers you want. I could get crit D times 4 on this sucker if I keep doing it. Just leave these 2 crit Ds locked because they're already crit D. Leave these 2 unlocked like I've just done, and then keep randomizing it until both of these, until one first hits on crit D, and then lock it, and then just keep doing it until the other one hits crit D, and lock it, and bam, what do you know, crit D times 4. That's how you do this, and that is how you can have better equipment now. Now also, I'm only very rare on this item, so one more thing I can do is to upgrade this item to epic quality. I will gain a 5th modifier, and that 5th modifier, which it doesn't show here because I don't have it yet, is something like ACC/DM damage. So it's basically a combination of a modifier, like a half modifier this, half modifier that to equal 1 modifier. It's not confusing, trust me. It will simply show you an extra slot. I'll see if I find, let me see if I can get a, here's an epic thing right here. Okay, we cannot, okay, on this one you can't remodify that. That's unmodifiable. What about this one? Some you can't re-engineer. Some items are not going to be re-engineerable. And I don't know which ones are and which ones aren't. But apparently those are not re-engineerable items. Wow. Actually, a lot of things are not re-engineerable. I guess it's more about like weapons and stuff, because that's stuff that modifiers can be changed on. Let me go to, for example, something like my ground staff weapon here. No, I can't re-engineer that. That's a shame. Upgrade item. Wow, there's actually a lot of stuff you can't re-engineer. Huh. Okay. Well, you are actually quite limited then into things that are re-engineerable. That's interesting. This one you can re-engineer. My secondary deflector I can re-engineer. Here we go. So here's an item with 5. So because this is an epic level quality, gold level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've got 5 things on it. And and you'll see that these are like combinations, like EPG/shield heal. Those are combinations, and so that's what you get on a lot of these items when you get to epic level. Is some of them are combinations, and they just show up like that as a combination. But it's still the same principle. You unlock what you want to change, and hit randomize when you have the salvage, and it will change to a random thing. If you unlock like all of them, you'll see it'll cost me 2,000. Salvage, 2,400 dilithium to like randomize all of the modifiers on this. So that would be a lot, and if I kept doing that till I get the ones I want and kept locking them down, it could take a lot of resources. But I mean, look at all the different combinations of possibilities here with this secondary deflector that I could have. Just a ton of options here. So the rarity level determines the number of modifiers you have. That's the important part. Epic is going to give you 5. Very rare is going to give you 4. Excuse me, ultra rare is going to give you 4. Very rare is going to give you 3. Rare is going to give you 2. Uncommon 1, and then common 0. So that's how you do that. We'll go backwards. So epic level, gold level is 5. Ultra rare, which is purple, a darker purple, is 4. Very rare, which is a lighter purple, is 3. Rare, which is blue, is 2. Uncommon, which is green, is 1 modifier. And then commons, which are no color, there's white, they have no modifiers. That's how the number of modifiers work on these. So the higher rarity you have, the more things you'll be able to unlock in combinations of modifiers you'll be able to have. The lower the rarity, then less you'll have. And in that case, you can upgrade items, just like you've been able to do for a while now. Upgrade items, you know, in rarity or whatever. So that's really not too complicated. Now here's the fun part. The salvage that you need is actually extremely easy to get. Now, I don't have anything that I can salvage right now on this character. Let me actually switch to another character because I don't have any salvage right now. But watch this. Let me go try to find another character here where I have some loot drops. I think I was working with this character earlier. Ruby Rose. If you have not seen the playthrough I did with her, this is the original Star Trek series Faction. If you have not seen that playthrough, I have a playthrough on her of the TOS faction. But I have re-engineered an item on her. And let me show you the item I re-engineered the other day. Is this one right here. No. No? This one right here. It's this item right here. I made this item a damage times 3. It has accuracy / damage, which is 1 modifier, damage times 3, and pin. All of the weapons on this ship have pin, which you cannot modify. Once you have it on one of your weapons, that one is locked. Let me show you that. Let me bring this over. Do re-engineering item. Pin is locked. So even if you have an epic level gear item, which would technically have 5 unlockable modifiers, pin, which does count as one of the modifiers, is permanently locked. You cannot unlock pin to change it because there's nothing else to change it to. Pin is just pin. Penetration, extra penetration. You cannot change that. So if you have pin, you are only going to be able to change the other 4 modifiers on that device. That's a very important thing to note as well. So what I did is before on this item, I had this right here. I had crit D times 2 damage pin. All of these weapons I think are crit D times 2 damage pin, yeah. So I had crit D times 2 damage pin and of course accuracy damage as well. But what I did is I changed or unlocked a couple of them to somehow, to get 3 damage. So instead of the crit D now, I changed it to damage by doing the randomize. And when one hit damage, then I had damage. And then I did it on the other 2 until the other 3 hit, and then I had damage times 3. That's basically how I did that. So I went damage times 3 instead of crit D times 3. But I mean, both are good modifiers anyway. But point is, that's how I changed it. It was just like this other weapon here. It matched this one perfectly, crit D times 2 damage pin. And now it's damage times 3 pin AC damage. So that was really cool doing that for the first time. Now, of course, you see I now have some salvage. So how do you get salvage? Well, here's the fun part. All you have to do is go play the game. When you go play the game, collect all the loot you get. When you kill an enemy on ground and you kill an enemy in space or anything you do, take the loot. Because here's all you have to do to salvage gear. Let's see. I don't want to salvage that. Some things are not going to be salvageable and some things will be. Here is a Tetrion stun pistol that I got as a drop. Okay, this was just a normal drop that I got while playing the game, a loot drop. Now when I right click on it, I have this option called Salvage Item. And remember, right now I have 350 salvage. So if I right click on this and do Salvage Item, do you really want to salvage the item? Yes, it disappears. And I have now collected, you received 230 salvage. And so now, when I go to re-engineer, now I've got a total of 580 salvage. That's it. That's all you have to do. I right click on this item. Here's a Polaron full auto rifle. Right click, salvage item. Yes. Now I got 781 salvage. Okay. Yeah, let's salvage this. Salvage item. Bam. 982 salvage. Salvage item. There, now I'm over 1,000 salvage. That easy. Just a few things, and I'm already over 1,000 salvage. What does that get me? I could almost do all of these. All I got to do is salvage a few more things, and again, not everything is salvageable. That's the thing. You got to see what is salvageable and what's not. Not everything's going to be salvageable. And I need more loot drops, actually. But we're almost there. I bet these very rares will be a lot. Ooh, you can't. Okay, so there's an interesting thing. I can't salvage the gear that I got from reputation. Yeah, no, you cannot salvage. So gear that you get from reputation gear, you cannot salvage. But there, I just salvaged enough stuff. I got 1779 salvage now that I could randomize this and do something with this item here. I could randomize all of my things on it, and I don't want to do that right now because I don't want to mess that up. I like it. Let me see if there's something here that I could change. Okay, all of these have crit D times 2 damage pin. Let's see if I could change one of these to a crit D times 3, or at least go toward that direction. So if I re-engineer this item, let's say I want crit D times 3, okay? That means I need to take this damage away. This damage has to go away. I need to unlock it, and it needs to land on a crit D in order to make crit D times 3. So let's randomize it once and see where it hits. I've unlocked just damage. We're going to leave crit D1, crit D2, accuracy, damage, and pin. We're just changing this one damage. Let's randomize it. I landed on crit H. Well, that's not what I want. I don't want crit H. Of course, now I've used dilithium and salvage, but I don't want crit H. It's now technically a crit D times 2 crit H pin. Okay, let's randomize it again. Oh, look. I'm back to damage again. I'm back to where I started. I'm already wasting salvage now. So you can see how quickly your salvage will go away if you keep randomizing to hit something you want. There it is! Boom, third try. Crit D times 3 pin. Lock it, and go. We're done. We close this. Look at our brand new weapon we have now. This is a crit D times 3 pin, accuracy, damage, Disruptor Dual Beam Bank Mark 14 Epic. Incredible. Put it on my ship. I've successfully re-engineered an item to be better than it was. I took out that damage. I now have crit D times 3 on that sucker. And that's as easy as it is. Now, if I want to keep doing that for other combinations or all my other weapons or whatever, again, all I have to do is keep salvaging components. And again, the only way to do that is to go in the game and play missions. You can play patrols too. Patrols, missions, play the game, and go do queues. Do your, do all your queues here, all your reputation queues. Do that and loot everything. Fill up your inventory with loot. Just loot the crap out of the game and salvage everything you can. And your salvage numbers will go up. And you'll get lots of salvage, and of course you'll need dilithium too, and re-engineer those suckers to your heart's desire. Now, when I said reputation things will not work, what I mean is when you go to your reputation and you take a reward for like Lucari restoration, I'm gonna collect my reward box for that. Those items cannot be done. So I take that. And the box did not pop up. Sometimes you have to like re-instance yourself for those rewards to pop in. But you know what I'm talking about. You do a reputation, you get your reward box, and those items apparently you cannot salvage. Because that would be a very easy way to get some salvage to there. I don't know where my box is. Maybe I have to start a new one. Whatever. I'm not saying where the box is. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You get those reputation boxes, you unlock them, and you get a weapon or whatever, like I did with this one. You can't salvage those. So what you can salvage is to go out into the game and get loot, regular loot, from a PvE queue, from playing a mission, just anything you go do. And all you have to do is right click on the item to see if you can salvage it. And salvage it, get your salvage, and then go crazy modifying all your weapons to your heart's desire. I mean, now I have crit D times 3 pin on that. Amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. That's a plus 60% critical severity when I hit with that. Whew. Very nice. So see, that changed the properties of it, made it better. So that is the basis of the 8th anniversary of Star Trek Online. And I think the most interesting part is, well, number one, obviously, the free ship. Get your vouchers, do the free ship thing. By the way, play the featured episode, Scylla and Charybdis. Get your 400 vouchers. 400 vouchers. Play that, have fun with that. And then practice re-engineering stuff, because that's actually a lot of fun. You could spend a lot of time re-engineering all your gear. You just have to go get all the loot you need to salvage, and then you can re-modify, re-engineer your gear. I love the re-engineering thing. That's one of the more better things they put in this game. First it was upgrading items. I love that ability. And now it's re-engineering, changing the modifiers. I love that ability. That's going to make building things so much more fun, because I'm going to put in exactly the modifiers I want on my gear now. I don't have to, by chance, when something upgrades, see what happens, or spend a lot of money in the exchange to buy something that has the modifiers I want. Now I can change it myself. That is a powerful, powerful feature to have, and it's going to make building ships and ground builds so much more fun. I love that. Absolutely love it. Can't say enough about re-engineering. Love it to death. Well, everybody, that is the 8th anniversary of Star Trek Online. There's really not much else to talk about. That's it in a nutshell. Go do all those things. Go get all those things. Play with all those things. Play the new featured episode. Grind daily for your free ship. Re-engineer your gear. And have fun. Thank you all for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the 8th anniversary of Star Trek Online and re-engineering and the free ship and all of it. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode.